Okay, guys, so we're starting today's meeting. We essentially have two topics. One is a bigger one, and the other is really small. So I'm going to present the new collaborator, and not just collaborator, but also web application platform. It's the developer's environment. So don't expect the very good performance, and also there can be bugs and not finished some capabilities. But I think it's going to more or less work, at least for the demo purposes. And the second topic is on relation map descriptor. I'll just quickly show that one single small feature that added to Magic Draw. So this is actually one of the primary components we developed in collaborative team. It's called Resource Manager. So basically, this application shows to you the categories that are available in Teamwork Cloud, as well as projects within each category. So you can see all categories available in Teamwork Cloud here, and you can also dive in by clicking on each category and see what are the separate different resources available in each category. So I am now using the new term resource. Previously, we did not have such a term, right? We had projects. Previously, we had also modules, but we got rid of those. So now we have two types of resources. So one resource type is a project, which is a Magic Draw project, and you can see its icon here. And another type of resource is a collaborator document. So basically, once you publish something from a model, basically using collaborator, so that something is actually generated or created. Well, in the end, another type of resource, basically a document, gets created in Teamwork Cloud repository, and all these resources live in this specific case under this specific package next to each other. So basically, that means that from this single project, like 5 different documents can be generated. So that's already possible. We are working on icons. So this icon is probably more or less final Magic Draw icon, but we need to find a good icon for this type of a resource. What else you can see? You can see the username here, when the resource has been created, also what's the latest version, and some other actions like the ability to open this resource in the old administration console. Because currently we have Teamwork Cloud Administration Console, and if the user basically wants to set some permissions to that on that resource, so he can simply open up this resource in that console. Then you can actually share links to the resources to some other users. So you just get a link, just like the Google Photos, and then you can give that link to some other person. And if you check this checkbox, public URL, that means this URL will be sufficient to view content. You will not need to use your username or password to actually view that content. That's shared using that URL. So let me check. I think our device is restarting, right?
No,
it is. No, let's see.
As usual.
Okay, so you can use this link simply to share contents to other users. What else you can do in the resource manager? So in addition,
Andres, I have one question. What is the username? Is it the user who created the resource or the user who made the latest version?
Don't you think it makes more sense to show modification date?
Yeah, we have been thinking about it. Yeah, it's now its creation, but it should.
And what about branches?
They're not shown here.
So what resources are? So is it the latest version, or is it trunk, or is it the branch?
This is the latest version.
This is trunk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's trunk. Branches are not visible here.
So I cannot have a link to a branch.
What do you mean a link? No.
You showed you are.
No, not at the moment.
I have another question. Is it a good idea to mix those resources? So to have documents and projects in one package in one space?
Why not? I mean, you're asking why it's isn't it a good idea? I'm saying, yeah, it's a good idea.
Can you distinguish, can you sort by height?
No,
Not yet?
it's very primitive actually. It's just a simple table. That's it. What you see, you cannot sort. No manipulation actually. You can only rename, delete, get the link to that resource. Search, yeah, I will show search as well. And you can also definitely log out right here. And what else? Yeah, just help about buttons, and then you can also switch to other applications. So if you there's a teamwork. If you want to go to the Teamwork Cloud admin console, the old one, there's an app switcher like in all Google products. So we have such an app switcher as well, and we'll let you go to that other application. So there are no other applications at the moment in this installation, in this deployment, but actually the other team who is responsible for the new admin console, they wrote some other applications for managing users, for managing roles and settings, and so on and so forth. So there will be more applications available. But first, I will show probably that at some point. I'll be a new person, I don't know. And what's important is that our customers can also create their applications. So if Tom Sawyer can do that as well, and they can add here a new icon, a new reference to that application, launch it, and they can create actually these new types of resources. So for example, if Tom Sawyer wants to publish something, it will look exactly the same, just a different icon. And it's possible then to configure what will happen on a click. So that click will open up that Tom Sawyer application or our application or partner application, whatever you want to configure. Okay, so search. Let's try search. Search is slow. It will be slow in the first release. This is because Teamwork Cloud doesn't support indexing. No means to do that. So on any, basically you have to enter at least 3 symbols. And basically you will see, of course it's not enterprise grade installation, but still the performance will not be that good. As I mentioned, it's a developer's installation, so in real life it will be much faster.
I missed the very beginning of the meeting, so I'm trying to understand what's the purpose of this app.
Okay, I'll cover that. Okay, I'll just finish with search and go back to that. So in search you can search all the resources that you have in Teamwork Cloud. So you are presented for the category that this resource resides in. So basically in this Darius category there are 2 projects, and the other STEM category there are 4 projects, and you can basically do all the actions that you are used to do from the admin console, from the resource manager. So now about the purpose. So our team is developing Collaborator, right? So Collaborator lets you present model data like this. Everybody knows what Collaborator is. I don't need to present it. But how do you actually open up this portal? So we had that problem. There was no application which would list all available resources, so that you can basically open up.
Also, this is like press.
Yes, it's a first list.
Yeah.
Well, very limited. One, it just lets you basically see the categories and the resources, the documents, and I'll just.
So what you said, projects here, so they're collaborated or published projects. Right?
Not only Magic Drop.
Magic Drop as well. Yeah, you can see 2 types of icons here. This is a Magic Drop real project.
What happens if you click it?
You will get an MDL link. So you can, it just returns that MDL link, because on the web we cannot open these types of resources. But the new admin console team will improve this resource manager to be able to let you set permissions. So to do more. Like right now, it just returns an MDL link.
MDL, so it starts Magic Draw, starts system model, and open.
It asks me, I don't know, it should actually work. It asks me to open the CSM, so it should work actually, but I don't know.
That depends on if this URL type is registered in.
Yeah, so in this case, it seems like a register that should open Magic Draw for me and open this project in Magic Draw. But as I mentioned, this will be improved, and even the resources you cannot actually open on the web, you will be able to set permissions, roles, and whatever. So this will be expanded. What else? So on the other types of resources, documents, you can simply open them up like this. Just click on them, and you get the collaborator view. We have already seen it before, so I will just quickly go again through the main items. So as previously, you have several views, like the requirements view to the model, right? And you can see this requirements view. You can go to the diagrams view as well. So there's not really many differences. Maybe a bigger difference is that all diagrams are now in SVG format. So if you take a look at those diagrams, they're really sharp. I can actually zoom in a lot, and they're all really look very good on that screen. And our users were really complaining about not being able to open these diagrams in a separate tab. So now it's possible. You can right-click on this tab on this diagram and use the standard browser functionality, open image in new tab. We could not do it in the old collaborator, by the way. So these simple things, again, they look simple, but now it's possible to implement. And now you can even search in that. You can actually start searching like so as basically the searching within the diagram is quite important. For example, Acorn was very they were very upset that the old collaborator doesn't have this. But they're happy we'll have it in the new collaborator. So what else? Okay, so probably I need to show you the commenting functionality. Okay, so let's go first to the requirements part. And here we can create comments just like in old collaborator. Simply the button is here. It's called a FAB, frequently accessed button. You just click on that one, and you can choose the target for the comment. You can say, click on that one, and say, well, name this element. Yeah. We got rid of 3 types of priorities. We have just 2 types. It's high priority or it's normal priority, regular priority. Previously, we had medium, normal, and high, so we didn't see actually any need for having these 3 types. And that actually helped just to save some resources, some development resources, because you don't have to filter, think about the filtering of those, and the GUI gets simpler. So now you have a comment created. You can, someone else can actually create a reply. Yeah, as you can see, all the animation is actually, we worked on the animation, it's not given. We have to actually code that animation to work. As you can see, you can also select each item individually. So that's also working. And then resolution. So if you want to resolve this comment, you just click on the checkbox here, and it gets all grayed out, as well as the graphical comment here. The other actions I delete and edit, I will not show them. They're pretty primitive. We also group all comments by dates. So we actually copied this functionality from Outlook. So this is more or less the same. And now if we go to the diagrams view, I will show how to comment diagrams. So let's hit the same button, add comment, and select the diagram. Yeah. And a separate view gets open for me. And I can choose colors, which I want to use. I can choose from different shapes. And I can say, for example, that please remove this part. By the way, you can also, it's a very nice functionality that you can actually go, you're not limited just to the diagram frame. The space is actually dynamically resized for you, just if you want. So that's an important capability our users have for this as well. Yeah, they can change the shape and say that, well, now it's, and that's it. I can just click on that one, and that's it. It's created. So, and then I can reply using textual replies. Yeah, and I can navigate to the old comments. I just click on that comment right here. I can actually delete it if I want with entire thread. Yeah, and I can go back to my graphical comment. So as you can see, navigation is working pretty nicely. What else? You can go back to the resource manager application from here if you like, easily. You can hide comments. By the way, this panel is hidden by default. This is one of the requests from users that using the old collaborator, they don't want to see this automatically open. It doesn't yet show that there are new comments. We're going to add that functionality. There is no indication, for example, you open up this portal and you don't see actually that are there any new comments or not. So we'll add that. Yeah, what else? Search. Let's try search. Okay, if you know the old collaborator, so there were a gazillion of options available. So now we just trimmed everything to this one, to these several. So basically now text search searches in all text of the comment, all text possible. So you can, for example, say, well, I'm interested in the author, just for one person who created those comments, right? So I can actually filter by right? Yeah. Only my comments will be filtered for me, or just use some snippet of text in here. So it doesn't care actually. It looks like all text. And you can just show all comments or unresolved only. So that's it. Search has got really simplified.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
So if I have graphical comment which does have text like this, remove this in your example, does this search cap?
No, the short answer is no.
So is search filtering or is it just navigating to the comment?
It's filtering. It's hiding. It's hiding an accessory.
But I do not see it, the result of the search.
Yeah, because I entered the and my username and.
What if I enter reply? So
Okay, let's put this one. So this shows that it basically filters all the results.
go back and enter reply.
The main comment will be shown. That's the reply.
Yeah.
Comment.
So all thread will be shown? Or
Yeah, the parents will be shown for you.
if any comment matches any reply, so all thread will be shown.
I think it's not a thread, but just the parent and that reply inside.
Right.
Okay.
So as you have already seen, there are we actually even spent some time on creating those empty states. So those empty states are not just pure error messages, but we actually drawn images to better actually show these. But even those places are quite nice. Yeah. What else? Probably for now, maybe. I think that's it from my side, but I have one guest. Unless we have any questions. So we are working on a new functionality now in the new version of Collaborator. Basically, we are going to add the possibility to generate documents out of these portals. So if, as you all know, we have the document-like views available. So they look like a wiki page view. So why not just generate, from these wiki-style views, documents, or if you see a diagram, generate a PDF out of that, or if you see a table, generate a CSV file from that and give to some engineer so that he imports that data into some engineering tool. So we just started, but the results are quite nice. So our guest Victoras, he's a developer, and Collaborator team will show just very initial results. So I'm giving presenter rights to Victoras. I will tell. Okay, I will make you the presenter. You should get. Screen. Okay, you should collapse this one on. Okay, I will connect HDMI to your PC. Not use. Not right now. Not right now. Not right now. Not right Okay, the first demo.
Okay, now I just want to show the document generator. This generation is just started to implement. And
so don't look at the GUI. These buttons are just added as a quick hack. We will definitely not have these buttons in the end. We'll place them that now somewhere else. But for now, it's really good.
Just at the first stage, we just tried to choose the tools for generation, and at the moment we've chosen it, and now we can do some document generation, and this tool could generate documents in any format, for example, PDF document, PPT, Excel documents, TXT, HTML, and so on. So you could generate any table or any paragraph in the collaborator, or in the future you could generate all the document of the collaborator. So I just want to show you a little bit how it's working. Just for example, you can choose any table and start to generate. Just push save, and for this implementation, it's just use the only save to the file. This file is on my PC, and for example, I could open it, and it will show the table which was generated from the collaborator. The same functionality is working. For example, I could show you, and in some kind of paragraphs. For example, I'll choose any paragraph trying to say into the format, and now I could see this in yes, and then could see this into this paragraph.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the format. We'll fix that, but basically it shows that it's possible to do.
Just you can do in any format, for example, text.
So it doesn't matter what you have in the collaborator in the package, for example. So everything what is that is in it, we can get in the PDF or something else.
Yes, you can get it. Just
if we have this like bunches of text and we say export to Excel. So what will we produce? A cell for each paragraph?
You just will introduce all this paragraph with. In the future, it could be and with images.
Yeah, but so
this template or.
Yeah. So when you let's try to export this to Excel and see how it looks.
This to Excel. Okay.
I think it will paste every paragraph into separate row. I think we tried it, but we can actually test. Yeah.
Okay, so is that one cell? No,
it's.
No,
okay.
What about the image?
Just this you could develop how you want, in one cell or in separate. So.
Did you show the table?
Yes, I could show it again.
Actually, we're looking at this.
For example, we could try any table.
Just create, try and do that.
Just it's take a time to generate this document. Maybe and there's showing table.
Does it also all the styling?
Not yet. Yes. Not yet is showing these nodes. For
Did you show the
example,
image export?
image export. I
I think it was in PDF, no?
couldn't show it here because it's not yet implemented.
Yeah, but if we do have a document like view and this page is like long one, so it still works?
At the moment, it is not working, but in the future, it will work.
Okay.
What about tables and Excel? Does it work pure? I mean, does correctly all the columns and all the rows?
It just now adds very well. As you can see, that's the entire table. So rows and columns are Okay, but for example, you can see the icons here, so the icons are not available there. But I'm not sure even if you want to have those icons, because if you're exporting to some engineering tool, you don't want those
For
icons
me,
to be there.
it's more important to have all the data in the column,
Yeah,
because now it was printed to PDF, the table, not to Excel. So
Can you export this one in Excel?
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying it.
it will be more useful.
Yeah.
But it's at this moment it's very simple. Just
Zoom in a little bit because it's difficult to see.
The styling, we could do what we want, just, and this implementation is just table with the rows.
What about the URL? So will it be possible to have this open in model editor be clickable? So currently, yeah, for example.
I'm not sure. Just need to try at the moment.
Okay.
Because in our templates, we have on one page we have text, tables, and images. So I'm not sure.
Everything will work fine.
But
Yes. Sometime in the
Okay, so I think we're done with this part, right? Or do you have any?
Yeah, just one suggestion. So when we in the future, when we do export to PDF for this large document, it would be better to make sure that indexing also works, so that there are paragraphs and they kind of look like this tree in which we have in the left, so that we can navigate this very large document.
I probably think we'll have several options. One will be just export pure data with no adornments, no icons, no hyperlinks. Just, for example, just for the case of importing some other engineering tool, they don't need that. But yeah, should be possible to additionally choose what in addition do you want to see. Yeah, I think, but we'll first focus on exporting pure data, and then we'll see.
One more question or item to think about, where we want a checkbox to export with comments or without comments, like the user could have the comments in there.
Yeah, we were thinking about it.
Like
but we would like to inline these comments into the document, because there's no separate panel for that. So in Microsoft Word, they are inline. In PDF, probably we should render them in addition in the text, because we have those references, so it's possible in lining.
I have one more question about the format of the documents. Is it, I know that we can customize from the development side, but what about from the user side? If they want to, I don't know, some, especially maybe for Word documents or PDF, we have some styles, some, I don't know, some sizes.
So initially, we'll predefine these styles.
Okay.
But for example, if you get a Word document, as you know, you can, if you get that document with all the headings, so you can actually override and change those styles easily. So you can actually, by getting this document, actually apply your own styles.
Yeah,
the document, my intention is that the generated document is correct. So for example, in Word, the headings, H1, actually H1 headings. They're not just, simple text with big font, but actually the actual H1 style is applied, and then you can actually modify that style, and this way you can achieve what you want. Probably that could be at least the very initial implementation.
So I'm planning to alternate export to PDF, like after change or whatever.
That's one of the plans. But first we need to we are thinking about these tasks will be long run tasks. So we want actually just for the user should actually trigger generation of these things, and then actually should be able to work nicely in the collaborate or whatever he wants, and then somehow get a notification that the document got generated. So we will first be focusing on that part. But we don't want to load.
Are you sure that user should trigger that?
It doesn't matter actually. It could be this machine as well. But we need that mechanism, the line mechanism first. And it should scale. And it should not kill the server side. So yeah, superficially it looks very simple feature, but in the end, if you want to make it right, and especially scalability-wise, it's not an easy thing to do. Okay, so I think that's it for this part of the demo. Right? So thanks, Victoras, and I will get the presentation right, and we'll show one more thing that I missed. Yeah. So let me connect the HDMI port. Yeah. So I would like to show the mobile view. So in this case, if I call it 8 view, so it still works. Actually, we were quite skeptical initially about having commenting capabilities in mobile view initially, but in the end we are keeping that functionality. It's a bit different from the desktop version. So we have the same button here, and how do you actually make comments on the diagram in a mobile view? So basically, you click on that button, you can choose that diagram, and you get actually an error.
Cool. I need to restart.
I think no, I need to refresh, right? Yeah, let's see.
I think that the user agent changed. That means that every time you turn on the.
No, actually, I already logged in.
Just one question: what does it mean? Remember me? Because it never worked for me. So
you should ask for Sarah. She's responsible for that component, and Thomas Lee.
It never worked for me. So
in the login screen, the new login screen, there's a checkbox remember me, so it should actually remember you. Okay, anyway, so
it was wrong me. So.
How do you actually add the graphical comments in mobile view? So you can click here, go here, and actually the set of controls here is different now. So we actually have essentially in this view just the ability to enter texts and a free-form drawing. What we noticed is actually in mobile view, it's pretty handy to use free-form drawing to highlight something like this. Actually, it's pretty good. And then you can actually enter text, and text is also different how it's entered. You just tap on some area where you want that text to be placed, and you get the dialog. So instead of actually being able to enter that text in the diagram on a canvas, you actually can enter something here. And this is again I found it pretty handy.
But actually, the text on the diagram doesn't make big sense. I mean, the comment would be better as an additional text here.
What do you mean additional text?
Because sometimes you want to write not only remove this, you want to write maybe longer question or some sentence.
You can do it. Well,
I understand you can do it, and then you will see the diagram.
Yeah, but you can place. You can actually move those right here or here.
It's replacing the diagram frame.
It's not replacing. It's actually.
For me, it would be better to have the same comment as for element in the textual format.
So you want to create model elements, the comments?
Yeah. Comment for the diagram. Textual comment.
Yeah, we actually had it. And you can still do it. No. Okay, so if you want, yeah, I think we have it still. These texts, I have just created the graphical comment, but these texts are still editable. So you can go edit and enter whatever text you want here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can actually reply textually. So it's still there.
Maybe I should show you also this graphical comments in our project when we did have some feedback from Nissan, and we wrote about 20 graphical comments, which you see just graphical comment, graphical comment, graphical comment, and you don't understand.
Yeah, that's why we added this, capability to make changes to the header and the subject. Yeah, you can say I don't like actually this part. It's actually ABC. And it's and that part is no longer a graphical comment. It's some meaningful text in here. Yeah, so it's there. Yeah, probably that's it. What I wanted to show.
And what are the
maybe some
question? What are the main use cases for the mobile user?
It's just reading. We are not focusing on commenting. Mostly, we said that
reading diagrams or reading elements.
Document like views first. because they are very meaningful. Then the models, they are pretty good as well. And then short diagrams, and then reply. So it's we don't think that many people will create comments in here, but at least you should be able to reply quickly. If you, for example, post something to me, so I just go to get an email, I just click on that one, review what you have said, right?
And you are, which role you are taking then?
I could be, I could be the reviewer. So replying, I think, is the beginning. But we kept, as I mentioned, we just kept this functionality creating because it just works. I mean, with very minor modifications, so it was not expensive, so we just left it. Maybe someone will find it useful. Maybe we'll provide some feedback, and we will actually make it very useful in the future. Good. So I think now that's it. I have nothing else to add. And another really brief topic is a very small capability we added to ImagineDraw. So I'll just show the ability to create relation maps from the customization wizard. Before that, we had to do that through code. So we have a lot of code written, well, a lot of relation maps that's introduced via code, and in here we can actually create relation maps yourself.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So we can create a relation map.
That's
What about generic tables?
That's
question.
Generic
It
tables?
will be included.
yeah, we are planning that as well. It's not GA thing, it's FP1.
This one? 2019.
And then we actually planning to do the same for tables and improve matrix support a little bit. So yeah, so I can just simply create such a diagram. Yeah, I can set the relation criteria. I can actually do the same, all the things I should
Can
do.
you apply already for existing relation map? Because you know the result.
No.
So you should remember what you selected.
Actually, we'll have to plan it because, as I mentioned, there are many relation maps which are created from code. So actually, someone should get rid of that code and actually maybe should move to the scripts. Yeah. So that's another task. Some migration, I don't know, but every single tool has their own diagrams, so we'll have to plan it. So now it's just the capability that's available. New customers can use it, but I will need to restart. Oh. Who remembers what was the name? Yeah, so we have the relation map created. So I will not show the standard functionality we have with relation maps. I'm just showing that this actually works. And as I mentioned, we'll add the same. We plan to add the same for matrices, not for tables. So that's it. Thanks everyone for watching, and see you next week probably.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.